You're
Guys,
safe.
there's something up there. Would now be a good time to tell you that I don't like doctors?
It's really much scarier.
By now you've probably already binged all of Stranger Things Season 3, and if you haven't, what are you waiting for? This season welcomed a character named Robin who worked at Scoops Ahoy with Steve the Hare Harrington, the finest babysitter in all of Hawkins. If you weren't distracted by Steve's luxurious locks, or all of the terrifying shadow monsters, you might have thought Robin looked kind of familiar. We'll talk about how she got to this point in her career and how this star is essentially Hollywood royalty.
Being born a girl is the most disappointing thing that ever happened to me.
When it comes to Hollywood origin stories, it's hard to beat Maya Hawke's. After all, she's here thanks to the Avengers. Oh, no, not those Avengers like the Marvel superheroes. We're talking about a 1998 movie also called The Avengers featuring actress Uma Thurman. According to both Uma herself and the IMDb.com rating, the movie just isn't very good, especially when compared to the awesome 2012 superhero flick with the same name. Although the final product left something to be desired and filming was arduous, there was something amazing which resulted from this film. According to Uma, working on the movie was such a drag it had her seriously reevaluating her entire life. Anyone who's had a rough day at work definitely knows that feeling. But instead of getting a new haircut or piercing, Uma decided to shake things up by having a baby. Wow, that's an even more serious life-altering decision than just getting bangs. At the time, Uma was married to fellow actor Ethan Hawke, whom she had met on the set of the movie Gattaca. The two of them would soon welcome their first child, Maya, into the world. That's right, not only is Maya a child of two actors, but her parents are both huge names in the entertainment industry. Not only that, but both Uma and Ethan come from impressive families themselves. Ethan's is the great-nephew of legendary playwright Tennessee Williams, making Maya his great-great-grandniece. Maya's maternal grandfather is Buddhist scholar Robert A.F. Thurman, and her maternal grandmother is model Nina von Schlebrugge. So was it a foregone conclusion she would follow in the footsteps of her family members and become an actress? It might have been, but Maya claims she resisted turning her passion into her career for as long as possible. Growing up, Maya loved being on stage and took every opportunity she could to perform. Every time there was a school play, Maya was among the first to audition, and she preferred to spend her summers at acting camp rather than staying home. However, she soon came to a crossroads where it was either time for her to put acting behind her or try to turn it into a career. When Maya was a junior in high school, her peers were getting ready to send out college applications, but she just felt paralyzed. More traditional paths just didn't appeal to her the way the stage did, and she found herself unable to resist the allure of theater. Even her school performances left her feeling alive and capable in a way nothing else ever has. Although she would attempt to pursue a more traditional education, she soon found herself veering wildly off course. Maya attended Julliard, where she was a member of their prestigious drama program. During this time, she started doing some modeling and became the face of British fashion brand All Saint for a period of time. Her father Ethan joked she took the job so she wouldn't have to ask him for spending money. When she had been there just under a year, she ended up receiving another job offer she simply couldn't refuse. It was the chance to appear on television, and the subject matter couldn't have been more perfect or dear to Maya's heart. When she was a child, she was diagnosed with dyslexia, a condition which makes reading a challenge. As she overcame her challenges, she began to read books all by herself, and one of the first was the classic Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. The character Jo had always been inspirational to Maya and had encouraged her to follow her dreams, so when she had the chance to portray Jo in the PBS miniseries adaptation of Little Women, how could she have possibly turned that down? Soon, Maya had dropped out of Julliard and was heading to Ireland to begin filming, but leaving school behind wasn't as glamorous as Maya had envisioned. Maya had been training to be an actress at Julliard and had learned how to think critically about her performance, but because her education had been cut short, she wasn't sure how to actually work on her professional shortcomings. Thankfully, she was able to work with talented actors including Emily Watson and Angela Lansbury, and let's not forget that she pretty much grew up on the set of major productions. When Maya was 4 years old, she and her family moved to China so her mother could work on the movie Kill Bill. Maya also enjoyed hanging out backstage and watching rehearsals when her father appeared in the play The Cherry Orchard. According to Maya, she's always been an observant person who enjoys watching others and thinking critically about their performances. This is definitely a skill which has helped her over the course of her career. But while there are definite benefits to having two acclaimed actors as parents, there are also some definite downsides. Uma and Ethan married in 1998 and had 2 children together, Maya and her brother Levon. But in 2003, the couple separated and went on to experience a lengthy, painful, and very public divorce, which wasn't finalized until 2005. There were allegations that Ethan had been unfaithful, and not just with anyone. There were rumors he had cheated on Uma with their children's former nanny, Ryan Shaw Hughes. Although Ethan would later go on to marry Ryan and have 2 children with her, Ethan denied their relationship had anything to do with his divorce from Uma. Understandably, Maya prefers not to talk about this unpleasant part of her family history, but it's clear it had an impact on her. Maya claims that although she has always loved acting, it was being a celebrity which always gave her pause. She saw how the tabloid headlines affected her parents and worried about opening herself up to that same level of intense scrutiny. But while there are definite drawbacks to becoming a public figure, Maya has always been quick to acknowledge her own privilege. She never has to worry about putting food on the table or keeping a roof over her head because of her family's immense wealth. She also knows that her name will always open doors for her because of her famous parents. But despite this, Maya does her best to be recognized for her own merits, and she doesn't always get the roles she hopes for. When Disney announced actress Halle Bailey would be taking on the role of Ariel in the live-action version of The Little Mermaid, this news made headlines. But many people forget there was almost another live-action version of this Disney classic, and this one nearly starred Maya Hawke. Director Sofia Coppola was working with Universal to create a live-action Little Mermaid, but allegedly she clashed with the studio over the lead role. Sofia thought Maya would be perfect for the part of Ariel, but the studio disagreed. They wanted to go with actress Chloe Grace Moretz, and this, along with other disagreements, caused Sofia to drop the project. Later on, Chloe would also drop out of the project because she wanted to take a sabbatical from acting. Clearly, if Maya can't be Ariel in a Universal adaptation, then nobody can, because the fate of this version is still uncertain. Disney movies have a special place in the hearts of pretty much everyone, but Maya would soon become involved in another franchise with no shortage of fans. She took on the role of Robin in the 3rd season of Netflix's hit show Stranger Things. Although she's descended from some of the biggest names in Hollywood, Maya admits she felt overwhelmed on the set of Stranger Things. If you're a fan of the series, it probably won't surprise you to learn that the actors involved are as well. According to Maya, they're all extremely passionate about the project, which creates a very cheerful vibe on set. But because her co-stars like Millie Bobby Brown, Natalia Dyer, and Charlie Heaton are all so passionate, it was hard for Maya to fit in. She claims it was psychologically difficult to adapt to the role. But by the end of the season, the role of Robin was being adapted to fit her. Maya says she brings a lot of energy to the set, and eventually this was incorporated into her character. What does Maya think of her Stranger Things role? She sees Robin as someone who is a big fish in a small pond. She knows bigger things are in store for her than slinging ice cream in the small town of Hawkins. Well, bigger than slinging ice cream and saving the world. Of course, what we all really want to know is, will there be a season 4 of Stranger Things? While the future of the franchise may be uncertain at this point in time, it certainly seems like it will continue. If it does, Maya is eager to reprise the role of Robin. At the end of the 3rd season, Robin gets a job working at a video store, and this is something Maya would like to see more of. Remember the dark days when you'd have to go to a video store to rent a movie to watch instead of being able to stream pretty much anything at any moment? Yeah, most of us don't feel very nostalgic about that era of history, but Maya thinks there's potential. She pointed out that many great filmmakers got their start working in video stores, and says the environment hasn't really been explored on TV. Clearly, Maya is unfamiliar with the hit Kevin Smith film Clerks or the incredibly short-lived Clerks the animated series, but considering the movie came out before she's born, we'll let that slide. If you're eager to see more of Maya now that Stranger Things has wrapped up for now, don't worry. This star has appeared in a feature film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by the legendary Quentin Tarantino. He directed many of her mother's major roles, including the hit film Pulp Fiction and the popular Kill Bill franchise. Uma and Quentin were good friends, and there were even rumors of a romance between them, but there was one major incident on set which almost destroyed their relationship and very nearly cost Uma her life. On one of the final days of filming Kill Bill, Uma was reluctant to drive a car down a dirt road. She was worried about the stability of the vehicle and begged Quentin to let a stunt person do it instead. But Quentin insisted, and Uma finally gave in, only to be involved in a terrible accident as a result. Uma blamed Quentin, and frankly, he blamed himself. He even said it was one of the most horrendous mistakes he ever made. Uma admitted the incident was more negligent than malicious, and it seems as though the two are now at peace with one another. In fact, many fans believe Maya Maya being cast in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is proof these old friends have managed to put the past behind them. Maya also appeared in the movie Ladyworld, which is inspired by the classic novel Lord of the Flies. The movie first premiered at the Fantastic Fest in Austin on September 2018 before being screened at the BFI London Film Festival and the Toronto International Film Festival. If you couldn't make it to these fests, don't worry. The film is scheduled to make its theatrical release in 2019. Although Maya has some exciting projects coming out, don't think this star is limited to acting. According to Maya, she's also passionate about music and songwriting and likens it to another one of her favorite hobbies, poetry. In fact, Maya claims to be pursuing writing a book of poems as well as a screenplay. This is definitely a star you'll want to keep on your radar because we expect great things from her sooner rather than later. What do you think about Maya Hawke and her role as Robin in Stranger Things? Do you think everything is looking up for her, or is this celeb just capitalizing on her famous name? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section and then click on the subscribe button for more videos from us here at The Taco.